We're here at Paxton Pits this week. We usually pay a visit around about this time of year, hoping to see and film, or maybe just hear some nightingales. Just passing this nest box, and I know there's some chicks inside because the parent bird has just gone in to feed them. And it's a great tip. Well, this area of trees and bushes is where we normally hear nightingales singing from when we first get on the reserve, but they're conspicuous today by their silence, so we'll check out the Hayden hide, see what we can see from there. And there's a beautiful male great spotted woodpecker in the feeder area there. Beautiful. And looking out on the lake, there's the usual views of cormorants. There's a cormorant colony here. You think of cormorant as fairly common birds, but I've just read an article in Birdwatching magazine, and they are actually more scarce in the UK than their cousins, the shag. There's around 9,000 pairs of cormorant in the UK and 27,000 pairs of shag. But obviously, cormorants are seen inland and shags are only ever seen on the coast. Well, it may be May now, but you wouldn't think so. Today it's absolutely freezing cold. There's north wind blowing right across the water, and we've got full winter gear on. Let's have a look, see what else is out there. We've got tufted duck. And the terns are actually back here now. Common terns. There's some just in front of us fishing. It's nice to see those back. That's the first ones we've seen this year. And also there's a lot of swifts, sand martins and swallows in the air today too. And just in front of the hive we've actually got a mallard duck, and she's sheltering her offspring from the icy winds. Okay, time to move on. Usually hear nightingales all down this path, but there are birds, but sounds like mainly whitethroat and blackcap. I always tend to leave it a little bit late coming here. Way too many leaves on the trees and bushes. I'll have to come a little bit earlier next year. The sun trying to break through the dark clouds now. A little bit further down the path, and no nightingales here either. This is a new boardwalk to the new kingfisher hide. Still work in progress, not quite finished yet. Real panoramic views though, and this gap here is Bird Alley. We've seen loads of birds fly through here, including kingfishers. Saw 3 or 4, and one alighted on this branch, but only for a second or so. Couldn't get the camera on it, unfortunately. One of those days. But there's also good views of common terns from here, which are using these floating pontoons. Hopefully they'll be nesting on there soon. And if they do, come mid-June, July time, there should be good views of chicks. Okay, moving on. And this has been another prime nightingale spot in previous years, but no sign of any yet again. A little bit further down the path by these farm buildings is usually a good place to see whitethroat, but there's none of those either. Just reached the river viewpoint now. Have a look out on the river. Haven't normally seen anything from here. There is a kingfisher post, but I've never seen a kingfisher on it. And just a mallard swims by. But at last, walking back from the river affords the briefest of glimpses of a whitethroat. When in the uppermost branches of a tree, a more obliging reed bunting. I mentioned earlier we've got winter gear on, but it's quite warm now. The sun's come out, there's blue sky. I can actually hear a nightingale at last. Just in front of us in this bush, but it's not being very obliging, unfortunately. So it's just the audio today. Okay, let's move on a little bit down the path. Might get to hear some on the way back to the car park, but it's pretty silent, unfortunately. Just disappearing over the horizon now. It's actually a Spitfire. There's movement on the path in front of us in the bush there. And it's just a robin. Has a nest nearby. It's got an insect or something in its beak. Almost back at the car park now, just have one last look out over the water. Still no nightingales, just this blackbird, which the blackbird's song is almost as beautiful as the nightingale. And I'll leave you with that, and I'll see you next time.